And we're going to open the show with, remember what happened last week where Scott Steiner returned and attacked Bill Goldberg with a pipe and choked him out in the Steiner recliner. That's how we're opening the show. We're showing that this feud is still going on. These two guys are both, top single stars, so I'm liking that this feud is going to keep going till hopefully sold out and go from there, but we'll see. I mean, there's a lot of stuff up in the air, and I think there's a lot of progression going forward, so we'll see. 68 rating on just a recap. We have our two crazy matches of the evening. So we announced both these big matches as Chris Kanyon takes on Rey Mysterio. And that's a little bit of good overness there, so that's nice. And a big match, which I was hoping to get a better rating for overness, is the WCW Tag Team Championships are on the line as the Road Warriors face Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow. Again, two big match graphics that we had for this show that you will see in the thumbnail when you see this video go live. And we open the show with a major announcement that Eric Bischoff and his new assistant Stacy Keibler now come down to the ring and welcome everybody to a New Year's edition of Nitro. And they are talking about how this is the beginning of the next stage for WCW entering 2002 in uncharted waters. We have made so much progression over the past year here in World Championship Wrestling for 2001, and 2002 is going to be even greater. 72 rating there. And they welcome Shane Helms down to the ring, and remember there was going to be an announcement regarding Shane Helms' championship, and the announcement is that Shane Helms is no longer the WCW Cruiserweight Champion, as we are announcing the WCW Television Championship. And the way this is going to work, and there will be some special maneuvers to the TV Championship. So, Shane Helms is going to be crowned the TV Champion due to the fact he was already Cruiserweight Champion. And what is going to happen is there's going to be a system to help progress people. So, 10 defenses gets you can turn in the TV Championship for a US Championship shot. At 20 defenses, you get a WCW Championship shot. And whatever amount of defenses Shane Helms is already at, he can use that towards that run. So, 63 rating there. Shane Helms is the new television champion and no longer the Cruiserweight champion. I know this might get a lot of flack for getting rid of the Cruiserweight division right now. It's just not working. I've already kind of gone through all my Cruiserweights that I have, and some of the guys I wanted to sign, it just doesn't work. Whereas the TV Championship, I can kind of use anybody, and that's kind of what I want to do to help progress people up the card. So that's what I'm going to use. I actually stole this from someone on the forum, and it worked so well in their save, so we're going to try it here. So 63 rating. As Shane Helms is showing the TV Championship, Rhino hits the ring and gores Shane Helms as Bischoff and Stacy Keibler kind of bail out of the ring as Rhino holds up the television championship. So right off the get-go, you're already seeing the difference. Now Rhino has a feud with Shane Helms that couldn't have happened otherwise. Now remember, Rhino did defeat Shane Helms last week as kind of a foreshadowing to what's going to happen to this moment tonight on Nitro. But this is the beginning of a new feud and another solid situation for the rest of the card. Instead of everybody being pigeonholed, now they're able to do different things. So 64 rating there. And in our first bout of the evening, and one of our featured contests of the evening, in a bout that had great wrestling and good heat, Chris Kanyon defeats Rey Mysterio Jr. in 12:33 by pinfall using underhand tactics, so he held on to the ropes. Mysterio was 79, Kanyon is 66. Storyline advanced, got the crowd hotter, and gained heat. 70 rating on the match. Good stuff here. Kanyon gets his win back that he deserved. Mysterio takes the L here, which is kind of disappointing, but kind of needed to happen at the same time. His natural progression. We might get one more match out of these guys for sold out, and then we're going to be kind of moving on from there. But at the same time, like, these two guys are magic together, so that's why I had to put them in the feud. And it just made sense from going from the U.S. Championship to this. Both guys are kind of at that point where they're above the U.S. Championship. No, I'll say above because that's not the right word, but like they're upper mid card now, so they can kind of be in any spot on the card, which helps a lot. So we got backstage promo from Kevin Nash talking about how he's going to call up the Masked Men for a fight tonight. and that he knows that Jarrett will be back next week to help him out, but he's made a phone call to make sure that he has some backup tonight against those masked men when they come out and try to attack him 2-on-1. 70 rating out of Kev, but who is the backup? That's the question. In a decent match, Kaz Hayashi defeats Billy Kidman in 7:53 with a moonsault press. Kaz Hayashi at 66, Kidman at 60, 65 rating. I saw that some people had some comments about Kaz Hayashi finding a tag partner, and don't get me wrong, that is 100% a good idea, or a manager or something like that. And there are some plans in place, but the thing is that's kind of a dilemma, is his contract is up in about a month, and I want to make sure, or just over a month, and I want to make sure he's going to re-sign before I start putting these plans in motion. I don't want to have a situation where psychosis type situation where I have to write him off because he doesn't sign back, so 65 rating there. Kidman unfortunately eats a loss. Kidman's just a man without a spot at this point, slowly moving down the card, unfortunately. Backstage, or in the ring, the Militia cut a promo talking about why they attacked Mike Awesome, and that they are a gang mentality. They go after the biggest man in the company. Everything is about making sure Guido becomes champion, and Mike Awesome was someone who was standing in the way of that. Mike Awesome comes out and says he wants to face Guido right now. Guido says no, and that he has to face off against the Militia first just to even get a shot at Guido. So tonight's match is Mike Awesome versus Super Crazy. 60 rating there. So this feud's still going. We're just going to start up. This is good for both parties, I think. It gives both guys something to move forward with, and it's something kind of fresh that we haven't done. So I'm very excited about that. And in a decent matchup, Mike Awesome defeats Super Crazy by pinfall with an awesome bomb. Super Crazy at 57, Mike Awesome at 70. Storyline gained heat. Announcing quality lifted the match and a 68 rating on the match. So good stuff here. And Super Crazy is the lower level of the Militia. So good stuff here. Mike Awesome gets a good TV win, which doesn't hurt his case at all. Backstage promo from Shane and Bam Bam Bigelow, talking about how they're sick and tired of the Road Warriors and that they should just retire and stay out of the pasture. They don't deserve to be in a WCW Tag Team Championship match against the best tag team in the world, which is us, Shane Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow. 72 rating, good stuff. And in a decent match, the Road Warriors defeat Douglas and Bam Bam Bigelow in 9:43 when Road Warriors pins Bam Bam Bigelow with a top rope power slam. Road Warriors win the WCW Tag Team Championships. 54 rating out of Bam Bam, 65 out of Shane, 53 out of Hawk, 52 out of Animal. Obviously, the Road Warriors have great chemistry, and the announcers lifted the match. 61 rating. We have new WCW Tag Team Champions in the Road Warriors. They were always going to get a title run here. Depending how long it is another story. I kind of have two options I have written down, but it just makes sense for Natural to have them have one more good title run, and that's kind of where we went here. I didn't want to cut Shane and Bam Bam's title run so short, but I think it'll make sense why I did it going forward. And post-match, obviously, the Road Warriors celebrate that they are the new WCW Tag Team Champions. So 58 rating there. I do like that the Road Warriors are the champs, though. I like having a legacy tag team be champions for a little bit. Shane Douglas storms into Bischoff's office and demands that his first official TV championship defense will be next week against Rhino, and that match will be happening. So that's for the first TV championship match since the title has been introduced. Will be next week. 62 rating there, and that feud will continue on. Scott Steiner comes down to the ring and cuts a promo on Goldberg, saying that they're not done or even close to being done. Just because Goldberg squeaked out a victory against him at Starrcade does not mean that this feud is over in any way, shape, or form. And the reason he choked out Goldberg last week with the pipe is because he wanted to prove that he is more of a man than Goldberg is, and that Goldberg is not, the star that everybody thinks he is. Scott Steiner is still the former WCW champion and the best wrestler in the world. 71 rating there. He gets interrupted by Bill Goldberg, who obviously disclaims these remarks from Steiner and says that if he wants to fight him, all he had to do was ask, and they agreed to a no-holds-barred match at Sold Out. So Bill Goldberg and Scott Steiner will have another clash at Sold Out. This feud is also one of those feuds that are just, I don't feel like it's forced right now, and it's also one of those where, like, it allows kind of the rest of the card to help the show too. I don't need both of these guys in the World Championship match right now. Now, granted, they will be eventually. Don't get me wrong. I mean, Scott Steiner was a champion for me for, 5 months? So, like, don't get me wrong, it's going to happen. But at this moment, in January 2002, I don't need them in the championship match. And about to have good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Rob Van Dam defeats Jamie Noble in 7:19 by pinfall, the split-legged moonsault. Rob Van Dam in 84, Jamie Noble is 60. Segment rating is a 70. Non-title match for Mr. Van Dam here, but a solid match. Jamie Noble will be going on his own shortly. He is being repackaged and moving forward because he's still going to be Jamie Noble, but Kid Cash is going to be not teaming with him, and he's going to be on his own. 70 rating there. Good stuff out of Rob and Jamie. Post-match, however, though, Buff Bagwell and Don Marie come down on the Titantron, and they demand a U.S. Championship match against Rob Van Dam at Sold Out, and Rob Van Dam obviously accepts, and the match is made. So Buff Bagwell, who kind of made it clear last week that he wanted a shot, gets his first chase at singles gold against Rob Van Dam at Sold Out, and we'll see kind of how that happens. I mean, this is a good feud for both guys, I think, because Buff hasn't been on his own really yet. He had the feud with Kidman, which was kind of a dud, in my opinion. I wish it went better, but this is a good feud for him because now he's got to face Rob, who's probably one of the best wrestlers we have, and it also gives Rob a very plausible opponent in Buff Bagwell and someone different. So, 67 rating there. Pinpoint is walking backstage, and they try to get some answers from them on what happened last week, and they demand that Chronic shows up next week if they have the balls to show up and answer their challenge in a match. Because Chronic returned last week and attacked them from behind, and Jindrak and AJ don't really care about answers anymore. They just want to they just want to have a match. They want to fight. So 58 rating there. James Mitchell and Abyss come down to the ring and challenge anyone in the back who wants to come down and step up to the monster. 50 rating there. And Rick Steiner accepts the challenge, and we're going to have a singles bout. And in a decent matchup, Abyss defeats Rick Steiner in 808 by pinfall, the Black Hole Slam. Rick Steiner a 50, Abyss a 60, 58 rating overall in the match. Solid TV match. Abyss gets another win, which is always good, which is exactly what we want. Rick Steiner, again, kind of in that weird spot, but he's doing good on TV matches, so I'm not upset. Post-match, however, Lex Luger walks on the Titantron as he just kind of stares down Abyss. Abyss and him make eye contact, and Lex Luger, and the crowd's kind of brewing a little bit. Lex Luger will be turning babyface if he hasn't already. I'm pretty sure they can do it now. I disagree with that. The term went badly. Whatever. The term went bad. Lex is a babyface now. Him and Abyss will be going into a feud going forward, but it's going to be a slow build to that feud. But yeah, Lex is turning babyface here. Booker T cuts a promo from Hawaii saying that he did not want to ring in the new year with the WCW fans, and he took a little mini vacation to Hawaii while he felt his opponent wasn't even focused on him anyway, that he wanted these masked men. So Booker T took a little week off and went to Hawaii, which, if you think about this, it kind of makes me seem like a terrible booker because I'm not even focusing on my WCW Championship match and the WCW Champion, but at the same time, it's nice to kind of book in a way where, yes, the championship match is big, but I don't need to push. And after losing Sting the way I did, I don't need to have the champion wrestle every single week. Absolutely not. 74 rating there out of book. Kevin Nash calls out the two masked men, and the masked men emerge from the crowd. 69 rating. Get ready for this, guys. This is hopefully going to be good. Okay, and about to have good heat and decent wrestling, Kevin Nash defeats Masked Man and Masked Man 2 in 6:43, and Masked Man 1 gets disqualified. Kevin Nash is 70, Masked Man 2 was a 59, Masked Man 1 was a 48. They showed excellent chemistry together, which is exactly why they're together. 66 rating. Post-match, the Masked Men attack Kevin Nash in a 2-on-1 beatdown, a 73 rating, and here we go. And Scott Hall emerges from the crowd just like he did in 1996 and hits the ring and helps Kevin Nash clear the ring of the two Masked Men. Scott Hall is officially back in World Championship Wrestling after taking a year absence, or about 2-year absence, and helps fight off the Masked Men for for Kevin Nash, 74 rating. And the Outsiders have reunited as they stand tall to end the show as the two Masked Men bail to the crowd. 69 rating there. Let's see what we get for a final rating, and then we'll talk about the show. A 56? How? How is there a 56? Hold on. There was one match or one segment that was under a 56. Okay then. Well, I'm sorry that rating was a little low. I don't agree with it at all. I'm sorry that it came off that way. I felt I had a good show here with some matches and programs, but okay. The Outsiders are back. They've reunited in this fight against the Masked Men. We will be building towards the unmasking of the Masked Men. That is coming. Wow, that rating is just bad. RVD and Buff is still progressing nicely. Abyss and Lex are now slowly starting to build. The TV Championship has been introduced with Shane Holmes and Rhino next week. Goldberg and Steiner going into Sold Out. The WCW Championship changes hands with the Road Warriors. Kanyon and Mysterio continue their feud, where Kanyon got the underhanded win this week. You know, the Militia and Mike Awesome are still going at it. So, I thought this was a packed show, but I guess not. Well, hopefully you guys liked it more than the rating did. I know certainly when I wrote this, I liked it a lot better than the rating came out. They didn't like the non-wrestling segments. Okay, so that's what it was. I didn't read that. Okay, so that's 100% what this is, and I messed up there. Okay, I noted. Okay, cool. I will make sure there's more matches rather than segments. That's fine. But again, like I said, hopefully you guys did enjoy this and understand kind of what I was doing with the booking. Please drop a like, drop a comment. You know I always read those comments and answer. I mean, I even talked about them in this video. And hopefully you guys are going to be pushing forward for 2002 with World Championship Wrestling.